He took me, I owned 3-4 buildings around it. I owned the hotel next to it. I took her, a totally fabricated story. It's all fabricated. And the lawyer is a political operative.
For the record, E. Jean Carroll is not telling the truth, is a woman I had nothing to do with, didn't know, and would have no interest in knowing her if I ever had the chance.
I know nothing about her. I think she's sick, mentally sick.
Okay. You say in this post, you use a strange word, which I want to ask you about. You say she completely made up a story that I met her at the doors of this crowded New York City department store and within minutes swooned her. Do you see that?
Yeah.
What does swoon her mean?
I mean, it's the most ridiculous, disgusting story. It was just made up. I think that's her big claim to fame, you know, that she shook my hand at some celebrity event.
You say Marla's in this photo?
That's Marla, yeah. That's my wife.
Which woman are you pointing to?
No, that's
Here.
Carroll.
Oh, is that?
The person you just pointed to was
I
E. Jean
see.
Carroll.
Who is that? Who is this?
Point, your wife.
And the woman on the right is your then wife,
I don't know.
Ivana?
This was the picture.
Ivana.
I assume that's John Johnson. Is that
That's Carroll?
Because it's very blurry.
Trump's own words are coming back to haunt him to the tune of an $83 million award by a jury for his defamatory remarks. His victim, E. Jean Carroll. Now she's firing some shots back at Trump where she hopes it'll hurt him the most, his ego.
I'd like to give the money to something Donald Trump hates. If it will cause him pain for me to give money to certain things, that's my intent. Well, perhaps a fund for the women who have been sexually assaulted by Donald Trump.
You say the emperor has no clothes. The emperor is trying to run for president again.
And right now is leading.
And right now, the polls suggest it's a coin flip. It's very close. Have you heard from Joe Biden's campaign arm about potentially campaigning against the former president, Donald Trump?
No.
Are you interested in doing so?
Do anything I can.
That's a yes.
You said you won't waste a cent. What do you plan to do?
No, we're going to.
So do you think you're going to get the money? I think.
That's a good question.
That's a really
we're
good
getting the
question.
money.
Do you think you're going to get? Why are you so confident you're going to get?
Because even if he doesn't have the cash on hand, he has plenty of assets, and he may have to sell those assets to pay us. But
And what did you say, Nate? What was your question about the money?
What are you going to do with the money?
Well, it's inspiring. This amount of money. We can do really a lot of good with this money.
What would oppose
Well,
Trump?
Donald Trump hates women. Remember the New York Magazine, the famous quote when they said, Donald, what do you think of women? He said, women, they're not worth a piece of crap. Remember that quote? And so I think one of the things we could do, seeing as how he's very instrumental in taking away women's rights over their bodies across the United States, maybe we can think about how we can restore women their rights. Use a little money for that.
I think E. Jean Carroll's decision to use her victory money against Trump is great. And there's a chance her possible involvement campaigning against him may hurt his chances at getting elected. Only time will tell. As you probably guessed, Trump and his lawyer, Alina Habba, they both lashed out after the court's decision was handed down.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I fully disagree with both verdicts and will be appealing this whole Biden-directed witch hunt focused on me and the Republican Party. Our legal system is out of control and being used as a political weapon. They have taken away all First Amendment rights. This is not America. Of course, I need to say there's no indication at all that this is related to Joe Biden. This is a civil defamation case in New York, but notably missing from there any attacks on E. Jean Carroll.
And that is why so many Americans are so proud that he is running again and so excited to run to the ballot box. But don't get it twisted. We are seeing a violation of our justice system. And guess what my client did? He took the stand. He abided by the rules of this corrupt system that I have seen. We will immediately appeal. We will set aside that ridiculous jury. And I just want to remind you all of one thing. I will continue with President Trump to fight for everybody's First Amendment right to speak. Everybody's a right to defend themselves when they are wrongfully accused and to be able to say, I didn't do it. And to double and triple and quadruple down and say, this is wrong. This is wrong. But we are in the state of New York. We are in a New York jury, and that is why we are seeing these witch hunts, these hoaxes, as he calls them. And this is another one of them. Be brought in New York, in states where they know they will get juries like this. We were stripped of every defense, every single defense before we walked in there. And I am proud to stand with President Trump because he showed up, he stood up, he took the stand, and he faced this judge. And you know what? I'll continue to do so with him.
Trump and Haba have responded right on brand. They've deliberately painted this civil trial and frankly all of his other legal cases as Biden-led ploys to silence dissenting voices and discredit the legal system. So, more lies, which play so well with his base, which loves rallying around Trump's victim complex.
The courtroom was not a courtroom to him. It was a campaign stop. That was clear. So we had two different objectives. Ours was to win a case. His was to win voters. We'll see how that plays out, that he's using me to win voters. Sexual assault. A man found liable for sexual assault is using the woman he sexually assaulted to get votes.
You know, people seem to have a lot of ideas about what E. Jean Carroll and her legal team should do with all of that Trump money, other than tucking some away for another lawsuit against him down the line, which I'm sure there will be one. It doesn't matter much to me. Since the beginning of time, women have been told what to do by misogynists, painted as attention seekers or gold diggers when they dare to go to court and say they're not going to take it anymore. The next time a man is raped and defamed, you go tell him what to do with his monetary judgment. In the meantime, if Miss Carroll wants to head to a casino or blow it on 5,000 Stanleys in every color or put up billboards of herself all over America, he should deal with it. It's her business, and now it's her money.